Hey everybody, welcome to BombSquad. I'm Dan Stacy, and you are about to witness my nerdy family and I use silly voices and exploding dice to tell a good story. And I don't think... Oh, we do have one announcement. We got the flaw tokens from Great Mustache and some of his prototypes, so very excited. So thank you, sir.
And they fit so niftily.
Yes, oh yeah, show. They fit right into the legend voids.
It's as if it was made for it.
Brilliant. He's a master, that mustache.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Just want to curl this little end of his mustache. Sorry, did I say that out loud?
He'd be okay with it, I'm pretty sure. So, thank you, sir. And David, RPG MRE for today.
RPG. Okay, so the MRE of the day is protein sludge, I'm calling it. So you see it's a little thicker consistency.
Thicker consistency.
I
think it's like
Zach's gonna have an issue with the texture here, I bet.
grout.
Grout. Normally it's not this thick. It's because it's been sitting. I made it a little bit ago. So what I did for this is really I did like 2.5 scoops of protein powder and then almond milk. So we did unsweetened plain vanilla almond milk. I think what we each have, I split it into 5 things. So it's about 50 or 60 calories. But when I do this as a snack, I do 2 scoops. Sometimes I'll add peanut butter powder. You're talking anywhere between 2 to 250 calories. Usually lasts me and keeps me full for like 2 to 3 hours. So it's a nice low calorie snack, and I like it. And you can add a bunch of different things to it. So, what do you guys think?
Needs strawberries.
Ooh, yeah, strawberries.
That's a really good idea.
It's always that struggle where you still taste the protein powder.
See,
This is
this is Dan's thing. I love the protein powder. You've got that right there. Do you think it leaves chalky?
a little. This is Arbonne protein powder.
This is, yeah.
It's good. The Arbonne's pretty good though because it's a nice sweet flavor, but I like the idea of strawberries. This is good.
Strawberries would
almost,
actually be
it's
really
almost
good.
pudding.
This is like chocolate and vanilla. Normally I do it even smoother. This is a little thick.
And if you want to be really naughty, I would put this on graham crackers.
Oh, the
Joey's
pudding.
good idea.
needs malt.
Malt.
It's good. I wasn't ready for sweet too, so those like the first bite's like, the second bite's like, no, I like it. Wait, what was it called again? Protein sludge.
Protein sludge.
I love it.
Yeah, I see a couple other guys tried this on YouTube that I follow. So I was like, oh, that's a really good idea. Then I started making my own variants.
It tastes really good with the drink I'm drinking, actually.
Really?
A balance of flavors. All right, excellent. Thank you, sir. All right, so let us dive into the next episode of BombSquad. First of all, before we dive back in, everybody got 1 experience point,
Hey!
which...
What does that mean?
Yes. In Open Legend, you get 3 you need 3 experience points to go up a level. And most of the time it's narrative based. In the core rulebook, you can see there's different options. You could give 1 per session. For us here, we're doing it narratively based. So I'm structuring based on where you are in the narrative, you get an experience point. With each experience point, you gain 3 attribute points to spend and 1 feat point to spend. Because in Open Legend, it's a point buy system for your attributes and your feats. So you can spend them now if you want. You can store them up for as long as you want and then spend, because some feats are 3 points, some feats are 2 points. If you want to go from attribute 5 to attribute 6, you need 6 attribute points. But the big thing is you can't go to attribute 6 until I think level 3. So the levels are still important because you have a attribute cap until you reach a certain level. So as you gain experience points, you can up your attributes, but you can only up them so high until you level up.
Okay.
So they are at level 1, experience point 1 now. So, and you guys again can spend them or save them up for something else as you see fit. And I think that's pretty much it. So let's do a quick recap. We left off, you guys had escaped from some goblins that almost captured you with some charm, some phantasm, some polymorph, and frogs. And, excuse me. Brick, while you were escaping, dragged one of the frog goblins with him in his rage and incapacitated him. You found the tunnel opened up into this old Maru nest. Doesn't seem like there's any there. It's not cold like you've noticed before or anything. And you interrogated, with the help of Ilya dominating him, you interrogated the goblin, got some information. Basically, there seems to be a goblin leader of some type called Futeg who's looking for you guys or knows you're here. He said maybe he could show you where he is. And then also from the tube that Brick picked up off of the dwarf skeleton, you found a map that seems to be a map of the old dwarven kingdom that used to be in these mountains, and the final journal pages. And one of them, Demeter read, that reveals that the last dwarven party that was here found evidence that one of the 5 necromancers who had been thought defeated and destroyed is here, or at least the goblins are worshiping what they think is him, and that's Nimco, the Nair's necromancer. So that seems to make sense to Demeter with the children, why they're capturing children. He thinks maybe the Nair's necromancer is trying to resurrect himself. And I think where we really left off was Tiri is innocent, but the goblin is dead.
Completely.
Needless to say, there's blood splatter all over your face.
How did that get there? I would know.
I cannot believe you.
So, yeah, it's basically like we've come into the next TV episode. We left right off with a to be continued as you're looking at this dead goblin, and now we're back in.
What's television?
All right,
It's some kind of bardic phantasm. When they play music, sometimes you see things, and yeah.
So I have a problem. There's a dead goblin laying on the ground. The neck is slit open. It was just alive and it was right there, next to you, Tiri.
Oh, it's nice to know that he had, someone with him before the unfortunate accident.
I can't believe this is happening.
It wasn't me this time.
Oh, well, it's easy to slip when you're tied up.
Yeah.
The level of anxiety that I'm feeling right now. We need to move.
I agree. Let's carry on.
Where's the map?
I have it here. Demeter is still looking at it. This causes some problem.
The gates.
Some problems.
Where are the gates?
Yes. Well, the gates. That's right. I should do a recap on that. They had also discovered in the map that you guys had seen there's marked these gates that the dwarves had used to do like a transport system.
Oh, that's right.
And you had noticed that they were marked on the map. And based on the journal entries, they seemed to be accurate. So that was like the big discovery.
This is based on the dwarf map.
The dwarven maps and the dwarven journal. Yes, sorry, I forgot about that.
I think
Thank
we
you.
should find the gate first.
Well, the only problem is we are not, as far as I can tell and from what I know generally of the area, we are not in to where the Dwarven Kingdom used to be yet. We're a little farther north than the original kingdom. And these maps are marked out as the original kingdom, taking no, what do I want to say? They're not taking into account all the years that have passed now, whatever the goblins have done.
And the Morrow tunnels.
Exactly. So I think we're close. It's hard to gauge. If we could find some way to compare it to current maps, maybe, we could then say, layer it over top and figure it out.
Do goblins hold maps?
I don't know much. Thierry maybe might know some more, but
They navigate more by smell. It's really hard to map out sense.
I would think they would still have some kind of record, but I'm not sure if it's usable, like you said. Here's the other thought. Above the bones, the first flower is up. It is late. Do we perhaps, I am tired, do we rest for this minute, think about things, recover? This is more battle than I have done in a long time. Goblins and then Maru.
We're not like healed or anything
No.
from the last.
From the last thing.
Yes.
I didn't get hurt, so
Good for you.
And I would
feel
like to
great.
keep it that way.
My inclination is to keep moving, but at the same time, I don't want to jump into something, especially when I'm irritated.
Jumping is the best way to get into something. But I agree, our rest would be nice.
I mean, I'm not against moving forward as well, but what do we do at this? Perhaps we take some time now, look around. We don't know where to go at this point.
Right. It's probably better to be able to think carefully about the next move.
I need some time to look at my armor.
Tim needs to walk around a little bit.
Is that what they're calling it nowadays?
You're feeling better already, Alf, aren't you? You hear Ingrid in your ear. We need to talk to someone as well. I think it would be wise to take a pause. I'm not liking what we found out.
well, I'm tired, guys. I'm gonna take a rock and turn it into a pillow in a corner.
Is it worth sharing?
I'll give you a pillow.
Wonderful.
I'm going to take a rock and I'm going to turn it into a rock. And I'm just
he
gonna
needs
rock.
to have just a rock.
Give it a little, as we're setting up. Well, first, do we want to set a watch, perhaps? Or should some people be looking for a way out? How should we handle this?
I don't mind exploring for a bit.
I'll be
Staying
up.
close.
I'll be up for a little bit.
Or, well, I don't know if I trust you at the moment. I was going to say, if anyone should do it, you should do it.
Oh, not me. Pim was going to do a little scouting mission.
No, Iliad,
Can it
you
walk?
scout.
All right. I'll tell you
Can
what.
she walk?
Not yet, but they find their feet quickly.
I shall
dear.
offer to you my luscious, fluffy, plump pillow. And I'll go look around.
I'll take the pillow.
Can I cast a perception, or do we rest, or...
Yep, everybody can start resting then.
Did I just say cast a perception?
What's your fortitude?
I don't know.
Brick's fortitude.
4.
4, okay.
Oh wait, sorry, that was my armor.
Oh, okay.
Brick's fortitude is 3.
Okay, that's still pretty good. Because you have 2 lethal damage. Lethal damage reduces your max HP, and you recover it. One of the basic way to recover it is resting for a full night's sleep, and you regain per. I think it says per day, but a lot of people do. I basically do per rest. Pull a full rest. If you have a full rest night, you recover 1 lethal damage per fortitude.
Okay.
So if you get a full night's rest here, if you don't take a watch and have a full night's rest, you'll recover all of it. You can also have assistance from someone who has, like Demeter has creation, or someone with logic. Someone like a doctor type feel can also add to that their attribute score if they're giving you constant attention. Basically.
Okay.
I don't think any of us have logic. We're all stupid.
Well, logic's more like common sense, jerry rigging. You know, it's more like the wisdom stat from like D&D.
Can I do like a partial rest to get a partial rest with Demeter helping me?
Yeah, we can
to
do
get
that.
2.
It's only 2, so I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you'll probably want to spend some time working on your armor.
Right. First of all, I didn't know I had jetpacks, so I want to look at that. And
Right.
also, my armor is was very damaged, but I don't know if it's just shields that recharge or it wasn't lethal damage.
Right. I'd say if when your shield depletes, we'll probably flavor in, depending on what happens. I think it's
Okay.
by flavor. Most of it's been your shield now, but it's probably all, your shield only protects at a certain velocity, kind of like the Mass Effect idea.
Hey.
Hey! So, yeah, but it still needs to be cleaned. You're covered. You had failed that one roll like way back when you first exploded where it sent the
I don't remember
protection.
that.
The LM always remembers.
I know he does.
So it had gotten jammed open. Remember when you sent the resistance to
Yeah,
aliens?
that was a
so
while
there's different
ago.
things you need to tweak and clean
Yeah.
up. And
Can I mix like that with half of a rest to like
yeah,
armor
absolutely.
and rest?
You can invite, like Tiri, I would say could help you, even though she's not familiar with this, she's familiar with tinkering. So she could potentially, Demeter kinda, because he's seen.
I think Brick would probably only ask Demeter.
Okay, that's fair.
He's feeling a little fragile right now.
Yep. All right, so we'll say roll your logic with advantage. You'll probably basically do it unless you roll a nat 1.
You just watch.
Dun, dun,
Wait,
dun.
I need
Advantage.
my ugly die. Can I have the yellow D20?
Sure.
The ugly
Just
guy.
change it
It's
once.
my
Nice
favorite
and
that everybody thinks looks like puke.
Yeah, and mostly you're rolling to get the resistance boon back.
I got a 7, so I rolled a 2.
But you didn't roll a
Wait,
nat
did you
1.
I did not.
explode? No.
No,
But you
it's
had
a 5.
advantage, so roll another d6.
I had advantage?
Yeah, you had advantage
Oh,
because
sorry, I
Demeter's
totally missed
assisting
that.
you. He doesn't know much, but he kind of has an idea.
Still 5. So 7.
7. Okay. See, normally in Elven Legends, you've got to always assume they're going to succeed, but every once in a while. So anyways, I'll come back to that while I think on that. Everybody else is sleeping. Iliad, roll. Are you looking for anything in particular, or do you just want to do a general perception? And basically, if you do a general perception, there'll be higher challenge ratings to meet, but if you specify on something, I'll lower the challenge rating, but you won't, at the expense of seeing maybe other stuff.
I want to get a sense as to what exits or entrances, for that matter, there are, and do that. Like, are they going up? Are they going down? Like, just to get a sense of our bearings of where we are in relation to everything else.
Okay.
Is that specific enough?
Yep. No, that's fine. I think what we're gonna do is you have to spend a little more time, so maybe you only heal 1 lethal damage.
Okay.
But your armor's all set. You have all your boons back, and
Okay.
you just have to spend a little more time. And I'm picturing that. What Star Wars episode is it where he's like trying to scrape the like carbon out of? I can't remember. There's
Oh,
something in
I know
Star
what
Wars
you're
where he's
talking
like scraping
Four.
carbon. Is it okay?
Almost nat 20. 26.
26.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's the one tunnel you guys came up in, and the thought that crosses your mind is, should we like cover this up while people are sleeping? Like, because goblins could potentially find that. You know, you didn't do anything to hide it. It was pretty easy to find.
Was it behind the waterfall though?
It wasn't
no,
exactly.
no.
It was
You're
beside, kind of beside the waterfall. It was tucked behind. I think I said a large like stalagmite or boulder or something. So there's that one, and then you look at your dead goblin friend, and while you're like still like dealing with the emotions of that, you hear something, a little shuffling, and you look up and you see a Maru scavenger. One of the ones that like doesn't fly, but it's up on the wall and it's just looking down at you. And when it seems like a little smaller than the ones you'd met before, and when you kind of lock eyes with it, it like and shuffles away, and you see it go over the ceiling like this, and then suddenly up into something. And so it looks like there's another tunnel there. And as you follow that, you get the sense of, okay, that's kind of what the Maru tunnels look like. There's a lot more of that sludging web that goes in, and there's a smoothness. Ooh, I didn't know that was on.
Of all
Yeah,
times
that's what
to
you
hear.
hear.
That. Yeah,
And then it,
right as you said that, I heard it.
that's perfect. Sirenscape. Sometimes it does stuff magically without you knowing. So you start to look. So there is one. It would be hard to climb up to, and you don't know where it goes exactly. As you're working around, you find another one almost directly across.
Still on the ceiling?
No, it's down on the floor now, and it seems to, it's tight. Like you'd have to definitely lay down and scoot your way through. You're not sure if maybe it expands up because they can, as you watch that one Maru come in, you see that like, you know, the kind of abdomen they have, like it mushes in ways where you're like, that should pop. It shouldn't be able to, you know, like, and it squeezes through. So it's very smoothed out.
And you, like, I could tell, like, could I tell if it was an active one, like the one it just went into?
As far as you can tell, it still seems old. You're not feeling that coldness that seems to be there when they're, at least what you've noticed so far. And everything else, there's not the smells.
Yeah.
You know, you had that rotting food, like rotting fruit smell, and that's not around. So as far as you can tell, maybe that was one just looking around. Or the other thing you might think of, especially with your perception, is that there's a dead goblin body.
Oh, maybe
it
it's
could
just one.
attract attention.
Right.
You know, easy meal right there.
Right.
But there does seem to be a pathway that leads that way. You don't hear anything right now through that pathway or anything, but it leads somewhere and it's pretty accessible. So there's two possible paths, one that's tight but easy to get to, the other one's hard to get to.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. I guess I'd start with the quickest option, to just peek in and go, can I go just a little bit into the tunnel? The one that's
Yeah, sure, definitely.
more easy accessible, tight.
Okay. Yep, you
Do I need to
start
remove
going
any
in.
of my clothing?
Looking for an opportunity.
Yeah,
He's basically asking
Necessarily.
you are a bard, so you're making that
With
sound.
my long...
Yeah. I say just taking your pack off. Like, you guys would have to push your packs in front of
Yeah.
you or behind you. So
Right,
you can
because
take
I'm
your
also
pack
thinking
off.
about Brick here and
Right.
Demeter.
And so how far? Everybody else is going to be... Brick's kind of working on his armor. Everybody else is asleep. How far do you want to go in there?
At least enough to get a sense, I don't know, like maybe 20 or 30 feet or so to see, does it change, does it go up, does it get bigger?
Yeah, okay.
Or if I had something, could I find like a pebble or something to throw in there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's plenty of rocks
Can I
around.
play my flute without attracting attention?
Depends on what you want to do. What are you thinking?
I want to see if I could like do a boomerang flute.
Oh, like, get a sense
I don't know
of...
how, yeah, like,
Huh, okay.
is that possible? I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
sure
yeah.
what I
Let's
would
see.
use.
Oh, anything's possible in Open Legend.
Ha-ha!
So what boons do you have access to? I'm wondering...
Boons.
I don't think you have detection.
Animation, blindsight, barrier, aura.
Blind sight could kind of work. We could do blind sight.
Okay, flight. Sprouting wings.
And you don't need to roll for this. You have plenty of time to take your time with this. So I would say blind sight or true sight, I think kind of gets the feel across of what we're trying to
Seeing. You're able to see
Ooh,
the eyes of a willing ally.
do. Willing ally.
Oh.
Do you have spying yet?
Spying.
Spying could kind of work.
True sight. Yeah, no, I don't see anything.
All right, I'll say blind sight can work. You can't. Basically, you're doing the same kind of thing we did with Ingrid doing the bat. You're doing like an echolocation with your music.
Oh, yeah.
So you could kind of get a sense to a certain distance with blind sight of what it seems like. So yeah, flavor it for me. You send like a.
Well, I guess so. I'm laying down. Well, have I started crawling? I don't think I've crawled in yet, but I wanted to crouch down and just pull out my flute, and everything pauses and. Okay, just kidding. I just kind of.
I'm down with it.
I just want to lean in there and play like these kind of low tones.
Okay.
It's kind of very soft low tones, very few notes, and then I'll give it a pause every like stanza.
Okay. So Brick, you'd probably hear him doing this. You see Ilya just laying down facing a wall and playing music.
It's happened.
Yeah.
He's gone insane.
He's finally lost
Broken
it.
him.
Like he's laying down on his stomach too. I figure, are your legs like up, like like, and or something.
Yes.
You're sending it out, and then you see his ears like, they're usually swoop back. They kind of swoop forward and seem to open up, and you hear. So roll one more perception.
Okay.
Just to get a feel for what you can see.
Ugh, 5.
5. All right. So this is something new. Maybe it's kind of you were inspired by seeing Ingrid as a bat.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, I think I could do that with my flute. I've got big ears.
You can probably hear the tone.
You're having trouble picking up, but the best you can tell, it seems like it opens up into a space. Mm-hmm. But there's lots of reverberation, so it doesn't seem like there should be anything else out in that space, but it seems like it starts to open up. You're not sure how wide.
Okay. Can I throw something?
Yeah, you could throw something too.
Okay. Should I roll?
No, I'm gonna have to lump it with
Okay.
that perception.
Oh, all right.
So you get the same idea. You throw it, nothing happens. You don't hear any scurrying or hissing.
Right.
You don't hear any reaction. It's just, you get that same sense that you think as the tunnel goes, it might expand. Maybe it goes to another chamber like this.
Yeah.
You're just not sure on the exact size.
Okay.
So, okay, everybody else is resting. Nothing else really happens during your watch. Who's taking second watch? Thierry.
Yep.
All right.
So during watch, I'm not really watching. Need time with baby, so letting her walk, holding my pinky fingers, and just sort of dangle feet up and down and get that walking on, because gnome babies, they find their feet really quick, but they're still small, frail little things. So get out and about, tell her some stories of grandma who was a samurai, so inspiring some of that nobleness and honor. After that, a good feeding and burping and resting and relaxing against the ever so soft pillow, which is actually kind of nice.
Awesome.
And
Not that you did admit it.
basically, yeah, just sort of chill, sing a little bit here and there, and just spending some of that quality bonding time. I don't really care if anything shows up; it's dead.
Awesome.
So,
like your goblin friend. Roll me one perception.
sure. I mean, I guess it happens.
Thierry's still got that mama sixth sense of danger.
Most of the perception is still going to be about. Actually, I would also want to check on Ulysses.
Okay.
So using the little trinket thing to check up on him would be the other.
You liked his name to a full name?
Yes, turning you into Ulysses.
That's awesome. That's the troll.
So, that's pretty cool. So let's see. It's 26 and this explodes.
Ooh.
29 on my natural perception, but still mostly focused on Pim.
Yes, okay. That's awesome. All right. So I'll say we'll do the detection too the precog.
Okay.
I'll just give you that one because you've got plenty of time to play with it. You're probably almost teaching Pim maybe how to use.
Yeah, look at the shiny little spy glasses. Looking
Come
here.
see your brother. So you get same thing. You sense that nervousness, but he seems good, and you also get the sense of movement, like he's on the
good.
move. But no danger, no threat, no negative sensations, other than you think he's still worried about you.
Okay.
But the movement's new.
Okay, good. He might be heading back into town because I did give him a little letter and some directions.
Yep. So with your perception, while you're walking Pim around, you guys pass by where Iliad was checking out that one tunnel. Mm-hmm. And you get the faintest sound of talking. Just for
language or just sort of something vocal?
Yeah, you can't quite tell. It's echoing through a lot, but it does sound like goblin voices.
Okay.
It doesn't seem terribly surprising to you. It doesn't sound like it's approaching, because you kind of pause for a moment and listen, and then it fades away. So you just hear it for a moment. It doesn't seem to be approaching you. It seems to be going away.
Okay. I guess then, at least before I go to sleep, I'll take our unfortunate late goblin and just sort of stuff him in the hole because I don't want any goblins waking my baby. So if we can plug that up a little bit.
Absolutely.
That would be good. Okay.
It's a little messy, but you can shove him in there pretty good.
He doesn't mind.
Yeah, no, he doesn't complain.
Good. As long as that's good. So then I'll sing Pim to sleep and I'll rest up against my rocking pillow.
Perfect. All right, one more watch. Who's taking the last watch? I guess it's Ingrid.
Yeah, sure.
Good. And actually, once when Tiri goes to wake you up, you're already awake because Malik's licking your face a little bit. Wake up, you stupid witch.
I'm tired. I'm walking all right.
Wake up, the crazy lady's coming over.
Okay.
So, Tiri wakes you up. Do you want to say
Oh,
anything?
I know, dearie.
Oh, good morning. Sorry, mama brain, late night, but your turn.
Yeah. Do you need a blanket?
I'm kind of wrapped as it is, but sure, if you got one lying around.
So I find some moss or something and turn it into a little blanket and then make a little baby one for the baby.
I'll add it to the stuffing in the bulge and just really snug in there.
Yeah. It's all pink and cute.
Can I just say I'm really...
Pink and cute.
Oh,
Yeah, no, it is. Totally.
She's asleep. She won't even know. Okay. Yeah, nothing to report. All quiet. Now that I stuffed the goblin in the hole, we shouldn't be able to hear anything now.
Oh, I didn't know
Did
there was
you
a hole
see-
there.
yeah.
Okay.
It
Well, there
doesn't
isn't
look
really
like there's a
anymore.
hole.
Just a goblin head with a
Okay.
tongue.
Do you have a 0 in logic?
Yes.
Roll a d20. Just let's get an idea of what shape.
15.
15. All right. So you have basically bent him in half and shoved his butt in there. So there's just it's like in video games when the physics goes wrong. So they're perfectly flat.
This is like rigor mortis is set in. So
Yeah. It's kind of smashed in. You can't quite tell it's a face anymore because she used her hammer to kind of hammer it in.
Oh, that looks lovely, dearie. I think it plugged it good.
You hear Malik whisper in your ear, God, she's mad. Stay away from her.
Okay, well, you get some rest and I'll take the next watch.
Okay.
Perfect. So as Tiri and Pim slip off to sleep, which, by the way, I just love the idea of sleeping in this dark tunnel and a gnome mama walking her baby around, doing the baby holding her arm. That's the best picture. Legend boy. That is just too good. Oh my gosh. All right. So, as you guys start, Malik says, we'll wait until we're sure the crazy lady's asleep.
Yes, good idea.
The singing will die down eventually.
And as you're pretty sure everyone's breathing seems steady, Brick's finally gone to sleep because you finished your armor at this point. You probably went to sleep during Tiri's watch. And Demeter's passed out. He's snoring pretty loud. Yeah, he has a little sleep apnea. I feel like. Dwarvish sleep apnea.
That's gotta
It's
be
like worse.
awful.
Well, it's
Clearly, I
like,
stuffed the wrong hole.
Stick one of the goblin's fingers.
Yeah. Well, if I may, I almost feel like Tyrion's asleep next to Demeter, and you take the pink blanket and just stuff it in his
That
mouth.
would be great.
And he just... And you see, like, he starts breathing. Once you're pretty sure everyone's breathing has gone down, Malik hops down and says, right, we need to talk to her.
Yes, I think we should.
Let's find a good spot. Come over here. So he takes you over, and of course I don't have it pulled up here. Sorry, give me 1 second. I think I put it in here.
Man, this tunnel is really not that cold, actually, because there's no more over here.
Are you trying to have small talk with me?
Yeah.
I got it up.
It's a
Okay.
little lonely when you're on watch.
Can you pull up your email? I'm going to email this to you so you have it. So he's going to, as we're doing this, he takes a claw and he starts to draw into the dirt and scratch the stone, and he draws this flower shape. It looks like a flower with large petals, but it's kind of artistic in a sense, so it's like the lines don't quite meet. And then he puts this very specific rune that you know is an M in one of the more ancient arcane tongues. And sorry, I haven't done it yet.
Oh. I didn't hear it.
Trying to talk and email at the same time is hard. And as he does that, he says, right, hold out your finger. And he just pricks your finger with...
That was harder that time. I didn't like it.
Oh, he does it again.
You nasty cat.
Stop it. We need to make sure there's enough or she won't listen. What am I doing? Which one do you have up? Photo?
Yeah,
Okay.
doesn't matter.
Sending. Yay, technology. Okay. Sorry, I should have done that ahead of time. Okay. So then he takes his other paw and he pricks his own paw. And rears back on his leg, pricks his own paw, and then kind of pushes with his face and squeezes some blood out. He's like, squeeze it out now. There's plenty. And you both drip your blood over this symbol, and it just kind of mushes on it. Nothing really happens. The blood just drips on it. And then you see him, like, he licks his cut and he's like, right, now for the worst part. Together? So we're gonna say this poem together.
Okay.
Hold on, I gotta pull it back up. And the cat sits down and you just, 3, 2, 1.
I am the guardian of the grave. Twixt life and death I do stand. The balance upheld by my hand. Your daughter,
son,
by blood, with you entwined, call out thee, O mother and guide.
God, she's always for all the pump. And as you're talking, he's just like sitting there. You wait for a minute. Nothing happens. Stop that. She always makes us wait. I swear she knows when it's me. And as soon as he says that, all of a sudden the blood, it starts to fill in the lines he drew. And it soaks in and then glows bright white for a second, and this flower grows out of the ground. And he's like, oh, finally. And as he says that, from across the way, smoke and darkness starts pouring in as you've seen before. And as it comes in and kind of settles like this, like a dry ice fog on the ground, but black and smoky, a bunch of the smoke forms together into this feminine figure, and white, bright, fierce eyes appear, but then soften when they see you. Oh, hello, daughter.
timers.
So good of you to call. And she looks at the cat. And Moloch. And he just rolls his eyes. How does the training go, my boy? Is she doing all right? And he well, she's alive still. But we have a bloody mess here.
Yeah, apparently the Nars is here. In the mountain.
I think you mean the Nares.
The nose, that guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have been sensing you are in trouble. What do you know?
Well, there's some goblins here and they're worshipping and bringing him children and, yeah, it doesn't sound good. It sounds like he's back.
I was afraid of this. It's Nahazik. He can always blind my sight.
I'm a little afraid.
Don't be afraid, dear. You are quite capable, and you have Moloch with you. Everything will be all right. But be careful. I don't think you should. Well, at least if you can help it, don't fight him directly. I've been sensing something happening. I knew Nahazik was up to something. I can never see when he's... Anyways, remember, I'm always watching. And if he has only been doing it for a short time, I don't think his power is full yet. I haven't seen him or felt his presence, which means he can't be. Nahazik's not that powerful that I wouldn't notice if he's raising one of his servants again. But this is what I made you for. You are who you are, and so are you, my boy. And he just... You were made for this. Do what you can. And remember, I'm always watching.
I'm not ready.
Perhaps not to fight him, no. But you can do all that you can. Have faith.
Okay.
I believe in you, daughter.
I'll try my best. I'm just not gonna go near it.
And that's probably, this is Moloch talking, that's probably a good idea. I don't know, dear mother, what we can do about it. But it's definitely up to something. Well, at least she's relatively ready.
I didn't get hurt at all.
Yes,
fine.
yes, hiding back there like an old witch. Have you seen her recently, mother? Look at her. And you can't see a face, but you feel it like the eyes squint like she's smiling. It is an adorable visage. I do like it.
Thank you.
But someday, be yourself.
Yeah.
When the time is ready. I will keep watch. I will stay in touch. I'm going to do what I can where I am. I will call on you. Stay safe. And she starts to fade away, and the smoke fades into the distance. And then the flower slowly withers and then dies and turns to dust. And it covers up the markings on the ground.
It's like the year without a Santa Claus when they call Mother Nature. Mother Nature!
That just totally changed my perspective.
If anyone wants to catch the end of that, you can roll a perception at disadvantage 5. Because you're asleep.
No.
I'm gonna try.
Half asleep at best.
Disadvantage 5.
like
I'm
a
trying
mama
to
would be
recover
able
that
to-
lethal.
I'm gonna wake up.
What's that?
Mommy senses tingling,
Yeah.
Rick's
so
focusing on
I don't have enough.
on sleeping.
D8s.
Oh,
yeah, I need an extra
How many more?
D8 of disadvantage.
5, right?
yeah.
Well, 6 total. You're at
6
disadvantage
total.
5.
Okay.
And you take the lowest.
Oh man.
So 18 and 2. So I got 20.
18.
And 8.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
What you catch Both of you awake. Mommy senses tingling. Iliad, you've been asleep for a while and you're just feeling ready to wake up. As you're starting to wake up, both of you see this. Ingrid is turning and walking away. There's a flower in front of her that dies rapidly. And you catch this dark fog just bleeding back into the wall. You just catch the end of it. You didn't hear any voices. I mean, you might have thought you were hearing voices, but you didn't hear anything they said. You just catch that last moment there. And Ingrid's shuffling back, and the cat's saying, "We better wake everybody up now."
Okay.
So you start to wake up.
Rise and shine.
Now think about if you guys want to interact, because before you guys wake up, Brick,
Oh.
something happens while you're sleeping.
Whoa.
You hear, as you're drifting off to sleep, you fall asleep watching Mama Tiri walk around her baby, and you're processing again that there's a
Frickin' baby.
And you slowly fall back into an uneasy sleep. You just start reliving the skeleton, the dwarven skeleton, under the water, and seeing that over and over again, and that flash of memory keeps coming back to you, and that void of a face ripping it apart, and the skeleton ripping apart, and and rather than spit flying at you, it's like shards of flesh and skeleton as it rips, so it feels like it's spit, but that green gas comes pouring out, and then the dream kind of it happens so much, your brain just pushes it away, and it goes to blackness for a second, and you just feel still, and you have this sense that you can feel yourself breathing, and you hear your heartbeat, and then you start to hear these strange sounds, sparks, metal clanking, and these weird clicking sounds. A little too loud. But you're still in darkness. And then you start hearing this. And you feel all of a sudden you feel you're in your body. You're not in this dream state anymore, and you trying to open your eyes. But it comes in blurry, you've had your eyes closed for so long, and it's got that film of water over it where you can't quite see things right. And you just catch this quick image of a dead body, and it's so fast that you can't quite process anything. You just see a prostrate body with another body on top of it, and you hear this eating sound. And then your eyes close again, and it's have you ever had a dream where you're falling asleep in the dream? Have you ever had that? And you can't open your eyes, and that's what happens, your eyes shut no matter how hard you try to keep them open, and you just keep hearing that over and over, and it starts to fill the space in your ears, it's all you can hear, and it's driving you insane. And then suddenly this other sound punches through that's even more terrifying. It's just this deep, guttural laugh that just seems so what do I want to say? So sure of itself. As if whatever is going to happen, you have no idea, there's nothing you can do about it. And it just is this. And in that moment, with all those sounds overwhelming you, you hear this one voice, "Commander!" And it's punching through the your ears are ringing a little bit as if there was an explosion. "Commander! Wake up!" And as you sit up, you sit up as Ingrid is going,
Rise and shine.
and you just sit up suddenly.
Can I like do like a look around
Yeah,
and
roleplay it out.
see if like is my helmet on or off?
Helmet's off right now. You were just resting.
Can I like put it on immediately and like get up and get the blades out and
Yeah. All right, let me set the scene a little bit, and then I want you guys to role play it out. So you guys had just seen Ingrid's turning around, this flower wither and die rapidly, and this smoke. You just catch the last bits of wisps of smoke going in. And Ingrid and the cat are walking back, and they seem to be talking to each other. And as you guys are sitting up, all of a sudden Brick just sits up and just puts his helmet on, which you've only seen him do that when he's about ready to fight. Go.
Rise and shine. Ding, ding, ding.
Grab the little pink thing from the dwarf's nose and use it to like start shoving and like covering his ears.
Demeter like, you know, that was the best sleep I've had in a long time. Must be something about under the ground again.
The elf was singing, you know.
Ah,
I have that.
Spasibo, Lillian.
I look at Brick, I'm like, it's okay, dearie, it was just me.
I've never been good with alarm clocks.
Did you want to do anything when your helmet comes up?
What do you mean? Like do anything?
Did you want to look around
Did
or
you have a
something?
good
I wasn't
conversation?
sure.
I wanted my back against a wall.
My mom
and
was a witch, so
I'm looking for who was
don't try.
laughing.
You don't see anything.
Okay. Can I like maybe fail to discreetly
Oh yeah.
like talk to Demeter, and I'll like kind of violently pick him up and like bring him up over to like the wall, trying to be away from people, but obviously they're all right there,
Yeah.
and ask him like, did you hear anything?
What? No, I slept like a baby.
You didn't hear laughing? You didn't hear...
Laughing. Well, I think I half woke up at one point and the baby gnome was laughing, but...
No, it wasn't that.
Are you all right? Your helmet's on.
I'm fine. And I'll take it off. I half didn't realize that I even had it up.
Are you sure?
I'm fine.
You can talk to me if you need
I
to.
just
know that.
thought I heard something. I'm fine.
All right. Well. And what are you guys doing?
Oh, you can say what you said.
Oh yeah, it was like have a nice conversation. My mom was a witch. Don't try anything. I know what this is like.
Well, I get lonely on watches, you know, so... Just,
And she's certainly not going to talk to me.
Oh, I know. My mom was very tight-lipped about that kind of thing. Always sent us outside, but we knew what happened when we came back and everything was rearranged in the house. Wasn't a cleaning fest, I tell you.
No. I'm sure it wasn't.
But really, no, she was...
You should probably see someone about that.
Oh, I don't know. She was the one that was seeing somebody about that, I tell you. But,
don't worry about
Iliad
it,
at this
honey.
point. You're gonna say something.
No, go ahead.
Iliad at this point is just like, all right, I think we should leave now.
Yeah, that sounds like a great
Wait,
idea.
Doesn't feel like the best place
Brick
to
is
be.
just now picking up on that they were talking to somebody, and so he kind of like pushes Demeter to the side and is like, who are you talking to? Who was here?
Oh, I talked to my flower friend. That's it.
flower friends, it's a witch thing. You should probably let it go.
Honestly, she's insane.
I get lonely on watches, so I just like to talk.
Can I talk to this flower friend?
No.
The cat comes over. It's not real. Just play along with it. You know, that's what I do anyways.
Can I?
Kind of laugh
If
it
someone
off.
wants to see through, you can roll a perception to see through the deception.
Brick is too self-concerned with figuring out his own mind.
Okay.
I'm completely confident in my opinions.
Yeah, that's fine.
I might.
Sure.
But really, I don't mind so much. All I can say is thank God you've never made a soup. Growing up, it was always soup every single day. Oh my.
You
The cane is
pretty sure the cat's
multi-purpose.
lying about something, but he always seems to be lying.
Plus, because I saw like that flower kind of disintegrate.
Yeah.
Can I like? I'm gonna walk towards the that hole that I looked at.
Well, there's a goblin in it.
Right, I know.
That's what you'll find.
So, and as I walk by her, can I just? I don't know. Like, I feel like you'll give her some kind of look, and almost kind of implying like, I know something's up, or like I know there's something beyond.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like Ingrid is telling lies. It only seems like the cat's
Oh,
telling
okay. So
lies.
maybe I look
with
at the
that
cat.
roll, that's how you interpret it.
Right.
But you don't
look
know
at
what
the
he's
cat,
lying.
Yeah. Look at the cat. Maybe look at the cat and just be like, yeah, of course.
He
And then-
stares at you with that unblinking, emotionless cat stare. You know when cats just stare at you, like they're seeing through you.
The slow blink.
Yeah.
So as I do that, I want to look over at the cave, the tunnel, and be like, Deary, what is this?
Well, clearly the goblin wasn't dead at all. He clearly went over and found a way to make himself comfortable last night. So
I could only imagine. Mm-hmm. Please remove it.
I've
been dirty enough. I'm not touching that.
guess I wedged the handle of the hammer in there and pry it out.
I say it's like you're working out a little bit, and Demeter comes over on the other side, and he's like pulling one arm. It takes you guys a little bit.
And I walk over and stick my finger on the edge, and there's all this blood.
Oh yeah, there's a little bit more than blood on there. It's like,
Comfort means a very different thing to goblins.
All right, so here's what I gather from my exploration. It appears that there might be an opening. It might be worth trying to go through this tunnel to at least further gather our bearings and figure out where we are in relation to the dwarven map.
That sounds like a great idea.
Let's go.
Wave
Someone
my hand
else-
in the hole. There might be an opening.
Now, are you able to fit?
Yeah.
Well, I know she can, but
I'm fine. I turn into a mouse lady again.
How big is
Yes.
it?
it's gonna be a tight squeeze. You are probably gonna be scratching your armor as you go through, but you could make it.
after just cleaning it.
Could I like grumpily just start kicking at the hole, trying to like break rock off and make the hole bigger?
Yeah, sure. Are you all right, Rick? Are you sure you're all right?
Never been better.
Who wants to go first? I don't want to get dirty. All right.
Very good.
All right, so I'll pull off some of the accessories and kind of wrap them up to throw ahead of me as I crawl up.
Okay,
I'll go behind Terry.
go behind Terry. Perfect.
And I pick up the pink blanket. And I put it back on the baby as we walk through the tunnel.
It's got like all this stuff on it.
I clean it.
Yeah.
Put it, wrap it around baby.
Did you change into something? I missed it.
I'm
You're
my
the
red
mouse.
wall mouse.
Yes, okay.
Lady.
Awesome.
Wait, does the mouse carrying the little blanket up? Legend point.
Nice.
I guess there's room in the pauldron for a mouse. So.
Technically, I don't think you can change size.
I can't change size,
Oh,
so
okay.
my features just change all into a
Oh,
mouse.
okay.
So kind of red wall, you know.
Okay.
But
Yeah, and your stats, mechanically, her stats adjust based on what she changes you to. So now you're like even
more perceptive.
more perceptive. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can fit through. I'll say you can fit through even better because you're not hunched and old lady-ish. You're lithe. And,
I still have a
Mousy.
hunch.
oh, you still give yourself
Still
a
a
hunch.
Yeah.
Okay. And the cat just walks behind you. He can fit through fine. Honestly, it's rather a nice change from that disgusting visage. And he just walks through. And he looks back at you. Coming, metal boy. You're gonna have his butt in your face. That's why he's excited.
I'll be there. Can I like get behind, like, have I been totally unsuccessful in...
You've widened the first part, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah. But it like stays tight for a bit in there.
Okay, so then I'll just like get my breath and do like a little walk behind everybody and kind of wait for people to go through first.
Okay. Demeter's like gonna... Are you coming? Are you sure you're all right?
Yeah, I'll hold up the rear.
You just didn't want the cat's butt in your face. That's why. And he starts crawling through and he's like grunting the whole way through because he's also wide, so it's a little rough. He's got to like turn this way to like pull himself.
Can I, do I have like flashlights or anything on my helmet?
Yeah, you have those 2 side lights.
Once I'm sure that everybody's kind of gone, can I like do like a scurry around
the area?
room and just like feel for things and look around and check for any blood or anything besides where the goblin was?
Yeah. Yeah, roll a perception.
Just kind of like really paranoid, really compulsive, like somebody with OCD or something, just desperately searching for something.
Yep.
Perception.
I could tell you there's a pool and then a smear trail and then a whole lot around the opening.
18.
18. Okay. You see that. And you see the tunnels. I think at that point you catch the tunnel up above that Iliad had caught earlier. And you see a little disturbed dirt where it looks like there was dried blood that's mixed with dirt.
Okay.
Which is, player-wise, that's where Ingrid did her
Right,
thing.
but
you don't see
Brick
anything
wouldn't know that.
else. Right. So you do see that. That seems to be the only out-of-place blood, but it's a very small amount of blood.
Okay.
But you don't see anything else. No weird tracks. Everything seems like it's an abandoned Maru nest.
Okay. Brick's just gonna kind of like catch his breath a little bit, close his eyes, and he's gonna swear, and like in a way that it's clearly he's upset, not like just joking around swearing. He's gonna swear, and I think he's gonna say it. He wants to not let anyone hear, but I think he's gonna say it loud enough that someone in the tunnel might hear it.
Yeah. Probably only Demeter. He's mushing the tunnel pretty good to not let sound through.
Yeah.
So.
But then Brick will then follow through and do one last look behind.
Okay. Yeah, nothing seems to be following you. You take in. It's a rough, tight fit as you guys squeeze through. 1 perception for Tiri.
16.
16? Okay, as you're pushing through, the place does widen out. You go for probably 20, 30 feet or so, and it starts to widen out. It looks like this was just one access point for some of the scavengers, but they now have widened it out where more of them were working on something. Mm-hmm. As you come out of that space into the wider space, you realize that a little farther down, and you can't see very well again, it's just like the stone flowers and some other underground, I can't think of the word, toadstools. A few toadstools, just enough light. You look ahead and you catch light and movement, like firelight, up down the path. And you hear those voices again. And that's where we're going to end the episode for this one. So, very good. Excellent. Dun, dun, dun. Oh yeah, I never turned the music on. But anyways, so thank you guys for joining us once again. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see what trouble they get into next week. We're going to simplify it, and I'm just going to say thank you to everyone who lets us use sound and music in here. Check our descriptions out for all the links to all of them. We have, so you can follow them, you can purchase their stuff. As always, thank you to Heromuster for being able to utilize Open Legends so easily on our online. And then check out openlegendrpg.com. The full core rulebook's on there, so you guys can sit down and start playing right away. It's a really great system, so really check that out. And last but not least, of course, check out the Dream Podcast guys anywhere you listen to podcasts. They are also running an Open Legend actual play right now, and it's getting really interesting. The last episode we just watched, they're running into some crazy enemies and kind of a similar feel to what we experienced today with bricks. So there's some crazy stuff going on. So really enjoying it. Hope you guys check it out, and we'll see you next week. Bye.